my CPU, everything was fine, but I guess my internet crashed. It reconnected, so I think we're back on. I don't know, chat. Did you see us?
Yeah, it looks like we're live.
No, sorry about that. But yeah, it wasn't my computer. That was just the internet decided, no, not gonna work. Anyway, okay, we're back. We're seen. Perfect. I don't know what happened.
Okay, so the last thing I think we really heard was that there's one tower that's taller than the rest of the towers.
Yes, one tower appears to be taller than the rest of them and may have a floor above the rest of the keep. And that would be the one from your vantage point outside. That would be the one to the far left, or in this case, northwest. Right? Northwest, yeah. Yes. All right. So you have the picture. You can relate that to the keep, but there's nothing saying that these floors don't go up. But again, it's who designed the place. So enough of you have been inside keeps. I mean, Janae, you were raised inside a palace. You know that sometimes staircases go up to like one floor, even though there's 5 floors. Sometimes they go all the way up. So it's just a matter of navigating this unknown interior.
Yeah, my concern is that this is separate, not so much that it doesn't go all the way up, but that it doesn't connect with the rest of the castle.
Right.
And that it's sort of its own separate space because it is basically a church.
The stairs next to us go down or up? I didn't hear if that was clarified.
They go up.
Genia, what is it we are doing in here again? If we're not going to be fighting?
We're trying to find out how many people are here, where the gold is being kept, and why, and if it's staying here or if they are moving it somewhere further along.
So, in Ross's mind, we would not be hiding gold on the upper floors, no? Treasures on the upper floors? Should we not be going down floors? And Ross is confused. He does not understand why we go up.
Well, I mean, we can look for a basement, but didn't you say the castle was built on bedrock?
Yes.
All I know is right now this church is a bad place to be. I feel like it's not.
Ross agrees.
So let's go back out into the hall and try to look nonchalant.
If anyone asks, we were paying homage.
Who's homage and what are we paying them?
Yes, Ross has no gold he cannot pay.
We were paying respects to the statue. That kind of like that.
What did the statue do? Respect.
Nothing, but that's what we're going to tell the people outside if they ask what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That way it looks like we're not, being totally suspicious.
I say we walk funny and say, "Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious."
Yay. What the hell? Why aren't you moving? Move. Oh, for the love of...
All right. So you come back out into court. Oh, you left Lady M behind.
She can't walk and talk. It's not
Like,
on us.
That's what happens. I think she might have crashed too. I don't see her camera on. It's spreading. Who's next? Who's crashing next?
Why would you wish that upon us?
I didn't wish it upon you. What the hell? I don't know if she crashed. I moved her out into the hallway, so there she goes. Do you guys want to wait for her? I mean, I guess you can keep going. Unless you want to wait for her.
So are we just going through the other door?
I don't know. Where are you guys going? Oh, wait, you were asking me. Never mind.
Well, I guess I'm back in now.
Are you back into Fantasy Grounds?
Not yet. Just managed to get Discord up.
Oh, son of a bitch. Alright. She's back on the table. So, where are you guys headed?
I'm not sure. That's the same thing I asked.
Well, I mean, I suppose we try the other door just to see what's in there.
Alright.
And as I open these doors, I'm not just barging through like a psychopath, I sort of pop my head in to look around and, you know, see if I'm interrupting anybody or, seeing if I catch a glimpse of a half dragon so I can pop my head back out and shut the door and maybe, run.
Okay. So when you pop your head into here, you see 12 bullywugs. They eye you suspiciously from a room that may have been a tidy barracks once. Now is a largely empty of furniture, much of the floor is churned into mud, and the stink of bullywugs permeates everything. So that's what you see. So you open up the door, and basically laying there in the mud is a bunch of bullywugs, and they look over in your direction and kind of narrow their eyes a little bit. Just to the right of the room, you can see a staircase going up.
All right. So I'm just going to kind of wave and be like, sorry, guys. Like, sorry I interrupted you, and shut the door.
You shut the door. You hear what sounds like throaty laughter coming from the bullywugs in the area that you were in.
I'm just going to ignore it.
Okay.
So not that way.
No, I don't think that's the way we should be going. Um, well, I guess we'd try another door.
As you approach that door, Jenia, you could smell and hear. Wait, I think. Let me make sure. um. Yeah, you can hear and smell cooking. Like you hear sizzling in beyond the door, and you could smell like cooking food coming through the door.
Okay. Well, I'm going to kind of let everybody know that that's what I'm like smelling and hearing through the door and say I'm going to assume that this is a kitchen and dining hall. So somehow I doubt that what we need to find is through here.
Okay. I guess we'll just keep checking doors then.
I mean, that's really all we can do.
Roz is gonna quietly check this door.
When you say quietly, what does that mean?
Well, not rattle the door handle or anything. Just very quietly try to. I don't know if it's got a knob. It's got one of those lift latches. What it has, but try to do it quietly.
So you're opening the door.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure, because
Okay.
some people just lean on them and listen. All right, so
Yep.
you open up that door. Inside, as soon as you open the door, you see, basically like a lit forge, and inside you see that there are, um, about a half a dozen lizard folk, and it appears that they're looking at a, um, like a spear, okay, with a metal broadhead at the end of it. Um, Scattered around the entire room are bits and pieces of armor and weapons, but like you can just from looking, you can see there's issues with each of like the pieces. Um, but yes, there are 6 lizard folk working at a huge forge. You open up the door and they all kind of look in your direction, and then go back to their work.
I can see the door on the east wall, southeast wall.
Yeah, when you peek in, you could also see there's a staircase going up just to the right of the door when you look in.
Ah.
Also, because I don't know why they did this, that's north, that direction.
Oh, I hate that when they do that.
I know. So just yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
No,
Try to remember that.
I know. I didn't realize it right away either until I looked at the next floor and they turn it the right way.
Oh god.
I was like,
Oh, my.
what?
No.
Ah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we're gonna get lost.
Yeah. I guarantee it, yeah. So, anyway.
So he'll close the door back. I closed there. Blink. And he'll come back and say, "This room to the south. Wait, east. The room to the east. Yes, yes. It's like a interior forge. There's 6 lizard men working on around the forge. There is a staircase, a rounding staircase that goes up, and a door to the northeast. Yes, the inside of that room.
A working forge like to melt stuff, like a smelting type forge, or just whatever they're making?
Yes, a hot
You know
coals
other
type
types of
forge. Yes.
Both of those answers are correct. You have to melt the metal before you can make it into something. So, yes to both of those.
Just curious if they would like take some of the stuff and smelt it.
It's hard to tell with all the bullywugs around here. They smelt as it is. They smelt bad.
Oh, counting that one though.
I would.
So, Jeannie, did you hear Ross's report?
Yes. So we've got a forge and another door.
Is anyone good at making maps?
So
As
many
we go
doors.
about this place, make a map so we know where we have been and where we are going if we need to go there again.
I do have my journal. I mean, we could try to draw it out. I'm not exactly the best map drawer, but at least we have something to draw it on.
This makes sense. None of us have been here before. And the creator of this campaign is throwing maps this way, then that way, then we are going to get lost. So someone must have draw it in the proper perspective so we know which way is up, so to speak.
Okay.
And you don't have to really do it out of character. It's just the DM knows somebody's drawing a map, then
I'm wondering if I could turn this one. I probably would break everything. No, we're not turning it.
don't do it.
Yeah, let's not
no,
break
no,
things.
don't do it. No,
Yeah,
there's enough today. No.
all the pins would get
hit
broken.
Control
If,
R.
yeah, no, they would have to. They would have to move everything, and it would just throw everything off. I'm not doing it. Like all the
Yeah.
walls won't move with it.
Yeah, let's not. That's we
Right.
don't want to break things.
I agree, Epic. It should be something that can simply be done, but of course it's not going to be. All right. So you guys are standing in the thing talking about like, can anyone draw maps and stuff. The lizard folk are kind of just looking at each other, looking at you, but like side-eyed looking at each other and going about their business. They're basically, like I said, they're tearing out weeds that are growing through the mortar and then like um scraping it and trying to clean it and rebuild like sections of the wall. Well, not rebuild, but clean up sections of the wall, and the bullywogs are just sitting there lounging about, every now and then throwing an insult at one of the lizard people. But as you guys are like walking back and forth, they're just now they have taken to just staring at you. They're no longer like talking; they're just staring at the six of you walking back and forth,
Opening doors and
making notes.
Songbird's going to be pretend gesturing to Elios that she's explaining what everything is.
Elias looks confused. He's never been in a castle before.
It works.
So, you're just what are you doing?
As a pretense, Songbird's going to like pretend gesturing to Elios that this is this and that is that, and it's kind of like showing him this is what this is. Since he's supposedly new.
And since we don't want him to think that we're just wandering around, like scoping the place out.
Exactly.
So you're
Looking like morons, like completely lost.
So like tour guide. If you look over to your left, you'll see this wall.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. I was just making sure I understood what you're doing.
Yep, that
Basically,
would be.
even though technically we're morons who are completely lost.
I'm
Yeah.
not lost. I know exactly where I am.
I know.
Right here.
I know exactly where you are in. So remember, not remember. I should probably say, you guys are in the center of the keep. It is. Wait, hold on, because it should be, and I want to make sure before I say it, before I screw something up. Yeah, that's what I thought. So this is open air above you. Like there's, it goes up to the like you can see out to like the sky above you.
So we're in the courtyard.
Yeah, you're in a courtyard. So I should have probably mentioned that. um. So the keep is arrayed around you currently, but yes, you are in a courtyard. And I will tell you that several of the buildings do not go all the way up.
Mhm.
No. So this one does not go beyond 2 floors. This section over here does not look to go beyond 2 floors. I'm just making sure I'm like marking because this is where the map has turned. And this section over here does not look or appear to go beyond 2 floors. Everything else appears to be taller. And then, of course, this is like a tower inside the center of the keep. And it is attached by these 2 walls on either side. So over here and over here. Okay. So from in here, you could see that, like I said, the places that I pointed to are only 2 stories high. The rest go further up.
Roz is going back into the forge area.
Okay.
Yay!
So-
Hopefully he was reading my mind because I was about to ask something.
All right.
Since there's lizard men in there, he closed the door behind him when he came in.
Okay.
Excuse me. You,
You're speaking Draconic, right?
yes,
Okay.
you know this castle well.
They look over at you and kind of blink for a second. Hmm. We know the forge well.
Okay, so where does those stairs go? One's going up.
The ones right there,
Yes.
they go upstairs.
This is going to be harder than Ross thought. Okay.
You were told the lizard people, very few of them know the inside of the keep. Mostly it's bullywogs
Very
inside.
few, but maybe one of these guys could. Anyway, what is behind this door number 1 here that Ross is standing by?
It's basically like a small barracks.
Oh, is this for more of the toad men?
No, and they all seem to sour at that.
Yes,
No.
I know. Yes. Ross does not like them either.
Born Gray, his chosen. This is ours.
Ross did not understand the name. Born Gray?
Yes, Born Gray.
That is a name Ross has not heard before. Is he a leader of yours?
No, Dragon Kneeler, the elf.
Oh. Oh, an elf. Okay. Hmm. Okay, Ross will not go in there then because I do not think that is a place Ross wants to go. Okay, well, thank you for your helps. Have a good day. You do fine work in here, by the way. Seems like much of a fire hazard, but okay, never mind.
They seem to be like pleased with the compliment, and then they, as you close the door, you hear the banging start up again.
Hmm. Okay. Biro, what have you found out?
Nothing. Everyone keeps opening doors.
This is
And then it
aggravating.
looks like every door that we've opened is not a way to go, so I don't know where we're supposed to go.
Ross does not either. But there is a gray something, an elf that lives on the other side of the forge here.
That doesn't sound familiar to me.
Neither did it to Ross, but maybe someone else knows. Ross will go tell Genia. Okay, Ross is here to report to you what he has found in the forge area.
Okay.
Ross spoke with the lizardman, and there's a round staircase that goes upwards. They were so ingenious, they told me that it went upstairs.
Glad that clarified.
Yes, yes. Anyway, there's also a door inside. They said leads to the chambers of a gray. What was it again? I forgot.
Gray.
Born.
Grayborn. Some kind of something that was born gray, evidently. Don't know if he had, the thing tied around his neck when he was born and he came out gray. Ross does not know. But something grayborn. He said an elf. Does this mean anything to you?
DM, does that mean anything to Jinya?
You've never heard that name.
Okay. Well, I've never heard that name, so
I don't know that is his name. More like what he looks like. They did not know his name.
Okay. So
I
we will.
heard you speak of Resmir. Who is this Resmir?
The half dragon.
Ah, oh, this one. Oh,
Yeah.
the
Resmir.
one that beat the
Oh,
beat
yeah.
the snot out of Vero. Yes,
No,
Ross remembers.
that was a different one.
Oh,
Resmir was the one that tortured you and Songbird. Isn't that right?
No, Cyan did. Resmir was the one that tortured Leosin,
Mm-hmm.
the monk.
oh.
Awesome. So all we know is half dragon bad.
Yes.
Just in general, we want to
Usually.
avoid any half dragon,
Hmm.
especially if they're in this castle.
So is Greyborn elf? Is that considered human? Ross knows elf is not human, but when these other creatures called human, the what do they call them? Dragon kneelers. I wonder if this one, this Greyborn, is one of the higher ups. Hmm. Anyway, he
Sounds
lives
like he
right in
may
there.
be a higher up dragon kneeler elf, is what I'm gathering.
Hmm. Well, that is the only thing that what we have not seen is the two doors, the double doors up there.
Mm-hmm.
Big doors, big trouble. Yes.
Well, we won't know until we go take a look.
Let's go get in big trouble.
It was all about the trouble.
All right.
Ooh.
So, hold on. You open up that door.
Oh,
Inside,
yes.
there basically this is an old stable. Um,
Up on the second floor. It's amazing.
on the second floor. What are you talking about?
Well, we're up on the. We're not on the ground.
Oh yeah, I mean this is like interior castle stable. Yes, I get what you're saying now. But inside, instead of horses, they are accommodating 8 giant lizards. As soon as you enter, they start like pulling because they're like tied up inside their stalls. They seem very agitated.
All right, so I'm going to kind of pop my head back out, look at Roz, and say, "Hey, there are some more lizards in here. You want to have a conversation with them and see if maybe they know what's going on?"
Well, you want to give me 10 minutes?
Sure, we
Ross?
got nothing else going on.
Okay. Well, let us close the door so they are not agitated anymore.
There you are, Elias.
And Ross will go to the corner here and he will meditate a little bit. He will call on those that give him the power to speak the languages of the giant lizard.
What do you think is this way?
There's a doorway.
Ah, this way?
Yep.
Well, yeah, there's a doorway, but
Okay. So as you get right about there,
mhm.
you see a basically you haven't seen him in a while, but one of those large drakes lizards. You
Oh
remember them?
joy. Okay. Oh yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
one of them, kind of like a big dog, like gets in front of the doorway and just sneers at you.
Ooh, good puppy. Backing away. Nice to see you again. Oh boy. Well, guard dog.
Oh, good. I'm gonna guess
Yeah.
that's probably the direction we need to be going then.
You remember our lovely. Oh, I'll go to over here. Oh, I keep clicking the wrong damn thing. So, Astrid, I want you to be very careful. Vero, do you remember those creatures we kind of encountered in Greenest? The ones that they were riding? Right? That's the one I'm thinking. GM. DM.
I'm asking the question. I mean, I'm listening to the question. I don't remember anybody riding them. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. Yes, some people were riding them. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because they were chasing the family, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. So you remember they were ridden, they were chasing the family and the kids.
Okay, so they're storing them behind that door?
Looks like one's a guard dog. At
Then
least.
why do you want to go in there?
Well, usually when there's a guard dog, that means that's a place you shouldn't go. I'm not tempted to go in there at the moment.
So just curious, we didn't go up the stairs because that would be suspicious, but we want to push past a guard dog?
No. It's usually an indication that there's something important in that direction. We're not going to push past anything right now until we have more information.
Why are we talking about this in the open with people all around us?
Oh, also, if you guys remember, the Bullywogs are sitting right there.
Yeah, that's.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was more of kind of whispering to you. I just didn't move over there to whisper to you.
Yeah, that again. You want me to make assumptions. You need to be clear. If you're gonna whisper and instead of yell across to somebody, you need to be very clear about that. Because the DM is gonna sit here and go, "Are you guys yelling this across the corridor?" That's why there's a map with tokens.
Mm-hmm. Theater of the mind tends to take over sometimes.
Yeah, don't let it.
All right.
Do both.
So, moving over to Elios, Songbird's going to be like pointing at the map and kind of gesturing to him, but still in a low voice, gesturing to him, saying in common, actually, take a look at this, don't go here, da 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 da. But she'll have a little note written of like, guard dog, be very careful.
Do we establish if Elios can read or not?
Elios knows how to read. He was taught.
He's
literate.
Listen, a few minutes ago you never seen a castle. Now I need to know if you can see words.
He can read and write. He was taught that. He's never been in a castle.
That's fine.
I feel like most
I
people
didn't
haven't
say
been in a
that
castle.
I didn't say that you couldn't. I just asked the question because some simple things you don't know. So it's like, how dare you think I can't read? But I've never been inside a castle.
I feel like the average person hasn't been inside a castle.
I was about to say, to be fair, I've never been
haven't
inside a
been.
castle, but I can read and write.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fine. I've been inside one, so I don't know. I've been
They don't
inside
have very many
Oil.
castles.
We're not
in
all
Texas.
bougie like you have it.
I've been in a few of them actually. Anyway, I'm just saying. It's like certain things you're like, oh, I'm a child, and then certain things you're like, no, I know how to do that fine. So I need to question these things because, again,
I mean, it's a fair question. He has a very weird. He has a very weird list of things he's been taught because he had a very strange teacher.
Right, I get it. All right, so she shows you these things on a piece of paper, but she's saying one thing but writing down something else.
Yeah, I'm basically scolding him like a child, but pointing out what I've actually written.
That's fine. So
Elios nods at both things.
now the bullywogs that are sitting just a few feet away from you are watching you. They've been watching you guys walk back and forth for a while, and they look confused. They're just like watching you. And Vero, you're sitting down with Astrid leaning against the wall watching them. Watch you. Not you. They're just they're paying attention to Songbird and Elios.
I
Roz,
don't like the idea of running around in front of a bunch of people, going door to door, opening and leaving and whispering and
I just
running. So we're
you
sitting
remember
down.
you remember the old Scooby Doo episodes? That's kind of what I see. It's
Yes.
like open the door, run out, open the door. So, um, Roz, you go into a corner and start meditating and start psyching yourself up to cast your spell again.
Oh yes.
That'll take about 10 minutes, and at that point you guys are just kind of doing your thing, but we're gonna take a quick break so people could put children to sleep. I can use the restroom and all that other stuff. So go take a break, chat. We'll be back in like 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right. I'm back. I'm not sure if everybody else is back yet. Is
I'm
everybody
back.
All right, there's Loco. I see an empty chair. There's
I'm
Ginia.
here.
There's Elios.
I'm here.
Your cameras
What?
aren't on. I can't tell if you're back unless you say something. Sorry.
I just got back.
All right, so we're just waiting for Songbird. Since she's just giving directions to Elios, we continue with Roz and Ginia.
Well, I mean, Roz was meditating, getting ready to go talk to the lizards, and I was kind of just keeping an eye out on the surroundings in general.
Yeah, so it's been 10 minutes. You've ritually cast your spell.
All right. He will go and open the door.
All right, so you open up the door again, and again they're in their tails are whipping about.
Okay. He's going to go in, sit down on the floor right where the door is, and close the door.
Okay.
Hold his hands up. Hello. This one's name is Raz. We are here to help you escape. If you are willing to help, well, if you are willing to lay down your lives, so to speak, to overtake this castle, you are free to go. I have already spoken with some of your like kind down on the ground levels. They are in agreements. Raz, for one, is tired of seeing you beaten and made to work under such terrible conditions. So, if you are willing, Raz will loose you and you are free to go run amok around the building. What do you say? Won't that be fun?
Roz, roll me an animal handling check.
I'm not going to use inspiration for that.
All right. So you're talking to them, but your presence doesn't seem to be have any calming effect. Like these in here seem more primal than the ones you talk to outside. Whether they've
Okay.
been abused more, whether they're just angry, they're starved. They're also the only, like the other ones were roaming free in a stockade. These are tied up. So while you're talking to them, they continue to thrash about, and it starts to get worse. Ginny, outside the door, you can hear all this noise. And it appears that other people can hear this noise too.
Okay, well, it seems as though you are not interested in this offer. So Roz will not untie you, as he promised. But if you change your mind, this one's name is Roz. Just have anyone come find me, and we will do the deal. Yes? But until then, farewell. Roz will kind of reach behind him, open the door, and kind of just back out.
All right. So again, the door opens and you can hear like the slapping of their bodies against the inside of their stalls, and then Roz kind of just backs out of the door and pulls it closed.
They are not your friendly neighborhood lizards. Nope. Not like the ones outside.
Noted. Okay. So we'll basically get no help from that.
No help. As a matter of fact, if these doors come open again, we might want to watch our backs. They did not seem to enjoy the conversation with Roz.
Okay. Well, it seems as though the only doorway we haven't been through is that one over there to the west.
Oh,
Although I
the
know
one with
Lady or Songbird popped her way in there, and I don't know what she saw. I don't know that it could have been very good because she went over and talked to Vero and Elios. So
Which door?
the doorway to the west.
There. Okay. There's also another door that you haven't looked at. So there's the doorway here,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this door that you have not looked at.
Oh, well, I guess I can't see it because of the way the map's set up. I'm not over there.
Right, but that's why I'm pointing out because you were over there, so you know it's there.
All right. Well, let's go over and pop through this doorway. What do I see?
All right, you open up that door. Inside you see several human. Well, actually, you see various races, but you see cultists. Um, Tables are arrayed. Some of the cultists are standing talking. Some of them are working at those tables. On the tables, around the tables, near the tables, you see crates that have been opened up. On top of the tables, you see various items that are being either cleaned, well, basically cleaned or drying. Some, and then there's somebody documenting in a large ledger what's in on the tables. Um, and then you see some people sitting towards the southern end of the room, or not the southern end of the room. That'd be the eastern end of the room, basically sitting at tables eating food. Because a little bit further east, you see a doorway, and out of that doorway, every now and then comes a human carrying like trays of food. This is a large, grand hall, and there's a lot of activity going on. I should probably open the door for you. As you open the door, several of them look up in your direction. One of them, now you recognize this one is wearing the uniform similar to the ones that were riding the drakes. He like looks in your direction. He comes walking over. I don't know you. What's your name?
My name is Nanya. My friends and I just joined up, and we're kind of lost. There's not a whole lot of direction as to where we need to be going.
Oh,
We want to be helpful as we can, and help out wherever we need to be, but we don't know where that is or what we should be doing.
no. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm probably the first like human you've seen since you got here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this way. I'm sorry. The bullywogs are not too bright, and the lizard men are even less. Come on, come inside. Where are the rest of you?
All right, and I'm gonna kind of run over and grab everybody, and as we're walking back towards this guy, I'm going to kind of explain what I have told him so that they can play along.
All right. So, um, in the room, like I said, there's about a dozen or so um cultists wearing talbards, basically doing all the tasks in the room. And again, some of them are sitting eating, some of them are just talking to each other. It
Hmm.
seems like fairly, I don't want to say like comfortable, but it's business as usual. Like nobody seems like stressed out. People are just doing their things. And then there's these four guys that look like soldiers. They're the only ones wearing weapons too. Um,
Okay.
Now I say look like soldiers. They don't look like veterans or anything. They kind of look like green soldiers. Okay, just by the way they moves and stuff like that. Anyway, so you guys like gather up and come in. He's like, he smiles as he looks at each of you. He'll actually look over at Asher. You're a little young, but welcome. Come this way. Well, I'll take you to your quarters. It's not much, but it's what we have available. And they will lead you to the north. Well, not north. They'll lead you upwards. So he's going to take you into the room, and you're going to walk by. The tables are covered with treasures, like items of art. There's stacks of coins being counted. Basically, you can tell they're inventorying and like cleaning and documenting all the stuff that has been bought from the Southern Lands to here so far. Okay?
Okay.
And then you could see that it's being repackaged neatly. So there are empty crates, clean, brand new wood, new packaging. They're being cleaned, documented, and then placed into these newer crates. Okay?
Okay.
All right. As you pass all that, they're like basically smiling, and the guy will say, so "This is where we have our meals, and we basically get together to interact with one another. Our quarters are just upstairs, but your quarters will be down here. So fortunately, it's all like we have left right now until we get some of the workers to do their jobs and get some of more of the quarters like cleared up. But come on, I'll take you." So he takes you to this door over here, opens it up. Inside is basically another room. Now this one, the whole lower level is water. You can see it, just filled with water. But there are planks that have been arrayed on crates and pieces of timber to cut across to the doorway that Vero is standing at now.
Okay.
All right. And he will lead you through there. Once you get there is a staircase going up. And then there is a chamber to the lower part of the map through there that he'll lead you into. And he will say, "This one's yours." You'll probably want to get it cleaned up and situate yourselves. It is basically a wet, moldy chamber, but it's not flooded. You'll probably want to deal with those, and he'll like point over towards the wall, and you'll see basically you'll see as you guys all enter the room, you'll see a large centipede kind of crawl into some like molded wood in a corner.
Okay.
He says, "But after you deal with that, make it your own, get yourselves comfortable, and then come back and see me."
All right. And what's your name?
You can call me Stannis.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Stannis. We are glad to have a place to rest our heads. It's been a long journey.
Yes, I see you already got your uniforms. Perhaps we can get you something a little bit cleaner. Must have been a terrible wander through the swamp. He says,
Oh,
"Well,
you have no idea.
all right. Well, get yourselves comfortable, and we'll be back to we'll get your assignments set up. I don't know if you have any special skills, but we'll talk about it. Rest up. You look road weary." And then he'll kind of turn and walk out of the room. There's no doorway though, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to kind of look and make sure that he actually leaves because I'm at this point still suspicious of literally everyone who isn't us.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna move you in the square.
The OCD is real, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, beyond real.
It is. How
All right. So
Hold on, I wanted to see how dangerous centipedes are. You could probably.
every time you say something like that, the battle music from like Final Fantasy pops
Right?
into my head.
Oh,
Freaking A, right?
yeah.
Roll for initiative.
Well,
We're gonna
honest,
battle the centipede.
Yeah, honestly, they're not that dangerous unless I score some really amazing rolls. They're not going to do much to any of you. The only one that's probably in danger is Astrid. They are giant centipedes. They are poisonous. They do have a nest basically sitting in the corner. It's kind of blocking this battlement right here. So they're coming in and out through the doorway, but they have a nest in that area. So you would need to get rid of that. There's a lot of them though. So, but again, I would
Ew.
need to score some like really good numbers to like hurt or even irritate any of you. So I'm kind of gonna, depending on how you decide to deal with them, I'm probably just gonna give you this one.
Can I just cast create bonfire and just set the whole thing on fire?
Probably yes. That's what I figured one of you would do. Or
I'll borrow the um Elios's daggers, so if anything scurry towards us from the fire, I'll just throw a dagger at them.
okay. Yeah, so you guys basically get yourselves ready, set the place on fire. A couple of them will scurry out, burn up, and just fall over. I doubt any of them will have to deal with Vero. Like none of them are gonna really survive. Again, 4 hit points. They're so they're not much of a danger, but they need to be dealt with. So while you guys are dealing with that, you'll hear footsteps coming because the planks going over the water, when people step on them, they kind of slosh in the water. So it's kind of, unless somebody's really trying to sneak or, they're making noise. Plus the planks is over the water, so it's a little bit of a drum effect. So as you hear them coming before you see them. And you look around behind you and you see another human kind of walking in. He's carrying a pail, but without a handle. Like more like it looks like a pot, really. He's kind of walking in with it. He like looks and he says, "Oh, should we get someone? There's a fire in your room."
No, no,
We've got it handled. Thank you.
not necessary. Just a bug infestation problem.
Oh yeah, that's why we tend to avoid this room. I was told to bring you this. I guess here, and he hands you the pot.
And this is for what?
Oh well, the room is fairly damp. Stannis thinks there might be leaks, so that's pitch.
I see.
You can use it to seal them up if you want, um, and then hi, welcome.
Hello, this one's name is Roz.
Hi, Roz. I've never seen a cat person before.
No, you still haven't because Roz is not a cat person. Roz is the boxy, but still,
Oh, that's
pleasure
much.
to meet you.
That sounds so much less scary than what I thought you were.
It, believe me, it is true. The boxy are kind and gentle most of the time. Cat people, not so much. And your name was
Oh, everybody just calls me Pug.
Pug. That is strange name. But Pug,
Well,
good to meet you.
It's short for Pugori.
I like Pug much better. Yes, it's
Mhm.
So does everybody
much
else.
easier. Yes. So how long has Pug been in this castle?
Oh, I
Is it
found.
your castle?
No, not my castle. It's
Oh.
well, it's depending on who you ask. It's Rasmir's castle. She's claimed it over everyone, but I'm pretty sure like that Splattergoo would be really happy if he could take it back over. But
Uh,
I shouldn't say that because he has ears everywhere.
uh, the name just did not catch in Roz's ears. What's that name again?
Splattergoo? It's the
Yes.
he's the leader of the Bullywugs. Some kind of mystic.
Ah, I see. Yes. You know much. You are very, very intelligent young man.
Well, I've been here for a while. I mean, I found our goddess, and he kind of shows a little bit of reverence as he looks down to the ground. Um, Many years ago, and luckily I was taken in and I was shown the way.
Roz is going to kind of look over his shoulder at Ginia. Well, this is very, Very good, because we are new here. We know nothing. We know no one except what was his name? Stannis.
Yeah, Stannis. Yeah,
Yes.
he's one of the captains of the guard. Well, not captain. He's one of the guards. Most of the real captains are like out doing things, but he's the guards here. I mean, we have the Bullywogs. They do most of the fighting and protect us. So, well, so do
Yes.
the Lizardmen. The Lizardmen tend to go further away and do stuff for us. But you know, it's we're safe. Like nobody really comes into the swamp. Like who would attack Castle in the swamp? I mean,
No, this is very foreboding place. Yes. Oh,
plus
Genia, Genia. This is Pug. Pug. This is Genia. She
It's very
is
nice to meet
very,
you.
yes, she is very interested in knowing you because you know everything there is to know.
well, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some things. Like I've heard about the dragon.
Well, we
A
would
real
like to
dragon?
have you come talk to us and kind of tell us how things run around here. We don't want to offend anybody by doing or saying something that well, might offend someone. And you seem like the type of person that would know how things run.
I mean, I could tell you what I know. Like, what do you want to know?
About how many humans are there, humanoids are there here?
Well, um, so and he starts like quietly naming people in his head. He goes, well, I would just depending on the day, there's about 30 of us. Most of us are laborers. Few soldiers. Some people have earned the rank of Dragon Claw, and then they get weapons. The rest of us have
Cool.
tools and pens. But I hope to be a Dragon Claw one day. But I'm still kind of green.
And I saw all of the treasure that was on the table.
Yes, what comes through here on a daily basis. The
Mhm.
lizard folk bring it from the roadhouse just outside of the mirror. And there was some trouble, so we missed a couple of shipments. But it's here now, and we document and we get it ready for her greatness.
And does her greatness receive that gold here or is it sent somewhere else? I mean, I noticed they were putting it in crates.
Oh well, we pack it up. I don't know where it goes from here, but we pack it up and get it ready and make sure it's all documented. Some pieces that are not good enough, we do not send on. But um, I, I don't know where it goes. We just stage it and get it ready, and then it just kind of disappears. I
Okay.
think they use magics,
Ah,
but I haven't been told yet.
right. Okay. Well, Pug, we are going to try to sort of clean up our area here and get settled in. And then we were supposed to go find Stannis. But if you hear any information that you think might be helpful for us to help us kind of fit in, because, we kind of stand out just a little bit.
Well, yeah.
So
I
if
mean,
you,
we don't get many elves. I mean, Great Born, Greyborn is the only one I know of, but he's in the tower. He likes to spend a lot of his time with the lizard folk. I think he's training them to fight the Bullywogs, but I'm not sure. He's teaching them how to forge, though. That's really fascinating because lizard folk they don't like metal weapons, but they're learning. They're really bad at it right now, but they're trying. And he thinks that once he can teach him, that it will help with the labor because the Bullywogs are really lazy.
they're really what you cut out.
Sorry, lazy.
Aha.
He whispered it, and I guess the mic didn't pick me up. But yeah, like he kind of looks around when he says it and whispers the word because splattergo.
Right, right.
Um, but yeah, um, but yeah, uh, Born Great. He's a he. I think he has something to do with the magics, and he kind of like twiddles his fingers in the air.
I see. So does he ever come into the dining hall and interact with the rest of the humans, or does he just hang out mostly with the lizard folk?
Well, he's teaching the lizard folk and he's trying to make them more civilized. But no, he comes and eats like everybody else. He's one of the higher ups, so they don't. They're above it all.
I see.
He's very, very, um, always looking at everything. Like it's, like something any moment might like jump up and bite him. I think he met a mimic. I don't know.
Ah, okay. Well, Pug, thank you so much. You have been very helpful, but we are going to sort of get things lined out here and maybe get cleaned up a little bit. And then we were supposed to go find Stannis about getting our orders and figure out what we're supposed to be doing. So,
Oh
but
well,
if you,
that's fine.
Mhm.
I mean, you kind of missed lunch, but if you want anything, I am pretty sure I could ask the dwarf to make something for you, and I could bring it over.
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll leave you to it. If you need anything, just let me know. All right. All right. Bye.
Bye.
And we'll kind of like wander off and head back towards the, like you can hear him walking back over the water to the rest of the hall, back to the hall.
Is he gone?
Yeah.
He was speaking loud enough for all of us to hear, right?
Yeah,
Before I
he
start
wasn't.
asking
He wasn't
questions.
whispering. He wasn't trying to be sneaky. The only time he tried to whisper was whenever he talked about the bullywogs. You would think maybe he's afraid of them.
All right. So,
He's probably afraid he's going to get eaten.
yeah. All right. So we have some more information. They seem to be very helpful. Are they like the newer recruits or something? And Songbird's going to start prestidigitizing areas for like sleep or whatever else.
You start cleaning the room.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
magically.
That's basically what you're supposed to be doing. So yeah. So you start cleaning up the room, clearing out areas. Um, you do have the bucket of pitch that you can use to like if you find any leaks, basically start getting your room set up. You maybe like 40 minutes later, um Pug will show back up. Hold on, because I don't remember his name. Okay, that's what I thought it was. All right, so Pug will show back up. He has a tray, some food on it. Nothing great, like just a block of cheese, some warm bread, and a bucket, like not a big bucket, but a little bucket of stew, and then there's some bowls stacked up and some wooden spoons. And he'll walk in. He says, um, usually we eat in the hall together as a with others, but since you just got here and you missed lunch, I think they said it was okay. Thorm wasn't happy about it, but here you go. And he'll kind of look around where to set the tray, and then just gingerly set it on the floor where Songbird has cleaned up stuff. He says, do you want us to see about getting you maybe some cots or some bedrolls?" And he kind of looks at all of you. Now you have your adventuring gear, and some of you do have bedrolls, right?
Good
Mhm.
question. I don't remember.
Because
Yeah.
usually when you have a bedroll,
Yeah.
it's like strapped to the outside of your pack, so he might
Mhm.
notice
Mhm.
them, but it's what he's looking for. Like, do you need any accommodations or amenities or whatever?
I mean, if there are some extra cots floating around, that would be fantastic. But if not, we can make do with what we've got.
I'll see. I'll see what I can do. Um, um, enjoy your food, and then he'll head out. Now, because you don't have a doorway, you hear people walking by constantly. You're at the bottom of the staircase. So you'll hear people like coming down the stairs, getting louder, and then walking, running out of the room. You'll hear people like coming around and then going up the stairs. So there is constant movement by your room.
Mm-hmm.
Question. In them walking back and forth and everything like that, do they talk? Like, would we hear conversations as they walk past?
Yeah. Yeah, if there's more than one, they might be talking to each other. Um, if there's one person, no, they're not talking. They're just kind of going about their business. But
You
you
didn't
haven't.
hear any conversations worth hearing.
Uh, I'll let one of you roll an investigation check. The number will dictate if you hear anything worth hearing.
I guess well, hold on. Let me see what my investigation is.
Don't check, just pick. No, probably.
Hmm?
I'm saying it's probably best if you pick somebody, but good.
I was gonna say, since I asked the question, I guess I could roll it.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't.
I
Whichever
would
one of
think
you
Roz
want to
would have
roll.
the better one. I would think Roz would have the better one.
Investigations off intelligence.
Yeah, and I'm
No, then that's
only
probably
partial.
not me.
Okay, well, that would be
Perception or insight, but not the other one.
Yeah. So we're doing an investigation check because basically you can hear these
Oh, I
people
can do
coming.
investigation, but
Right. We hear you can hear these people coming down the stairs. They're not trying to be secretive. They think they're home, so they're feeling kind of safe. So the conversations would just be casual conversations. The reason you're rolling a check is not to see if you've heard it. It's just to see how much they may have revealed. So that's why we're rolling an investigation check. Okay. All right. So you will hear talk. I think my fire alarm is just going off. Do you guys hear that beeping noise?
I heard
Yes.
something.
Oh wait, it went off. Okay, I don't know. Everything's been weird today. Like my internet was is ridiculously low. I don't know what the hell. Everything's just broken. Anyway, so you will hear about the incident that happened at the Roadhouse. Um, nothing went missing, but um, a group of a group of lizard men transporters were have gone missing. They were found in the tunnels. Um, there it goes again. Mutilated. So there was talk of that going on. Um, Razmir basically has said that we must be vigilant. Um, but she the story that they're putting out is that the lizard men got greedy and fought each other. Other than that, you hear, that wizard he'll never get those lizard folk to do anything. They're not worth the effort. Um, Everything else is, have you heard from home? How's your wife? Kids? Normal conversation. Nothing crazy. But like all of you will hear bits and pieces of that. Like also remember, you've only been here for like an hour or so. Every now and then people like go by and like look in your room, but they'll smile or nod their head and just go about their business.
nosy.
I mean, one, you
kidding.
you set a fire. You're casting spells. It's not like you're being quiet in there.
Does anybody react weirdly to seeing a kobold?
No.
Or do they even react upon seeing me?
No. I mean, when you came through the hall, there was various races, dwarves, humans. There was just like a nice mix of various races. So you're just another race to them right now.
I like this.
Yeah. So like they haven't even given too much reaction to like Roz other than like, oh, I've never met a Tibet. They don't think he's a Tabaxi at first. They think he's the Rakshasha.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They think he's one of those. So there's confusion, and you'll notice that that's what they're thinking because almost every time somebody meets him, they look at his hands. And for those of you that are wondering, their hands are backwards. So that's one of the things. Their hands are like turned backwards.
Really?
Yeah. Other than that, you guys are in your room. You're kind of left alone for the time being. So what are you doing?
Just getting situated and planning the next step, which would be meeting Stannis.
I feel like Vero's looking through his pack for some tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of gross.
It's been days.
Oh, he might get hot water now.
That too. I like the idea of having hot water.
Do you though?
Hmm.
Okay. Vero, say something.
Something.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So,
Mhm.
so you guys are doing nothing until he shows up, or are you like you have hours? I'm just
So we're not supposed to meet him really fast? Is when we were supposed to meet him? I thought it was pretty quickly
no.
after we get
He
situated.
told you take care of that, and he pointed at the centipedes. They sent you pitch to like seal up leaks, and he told you make yourselves at home, and then we'll get with you and get you situated. So you just missed lunch. You're probably not gonna see him again until like dinner time, maybe.
Mm.
So you have hours.
Roz is gonna make arrows.
All right. So you're gonna sit and make arrows.
Elias is gonna go up to Vero and ask him, should we practice while we wait?
Yeah, we could do that. Let's see. Why not? Everyone's doing something else. Yeah, we should.
What are you practicing?
Our normal, our normal things. We have a student.
Okay. So
Who's teaching? Are you teaching or are
I think your day today. I think.
Okay, well, then I will teach more Vero more shocking grasp, and I will teach what are the cantrips I have?
Straight.
I'm gonna teach Astrid friends how to make people like him.
I think he's already good at that, but fine.
It's magical, so it'll
Naturally.
be better.
Ginny, what are you doing?
Ginger's gonna sit over in the corner and meditate.
All right. So you're meditating, and Songbird, you're cleaning. Unless you, like, yes, no, maybe. I don't know. It was more of a question than
Well,
a statement.
since prestidigitation kind of makes it a little bit quicker when she's done with that, she's going to sit down and start checking and tuning her lyre.
Okay.
He hasn't touched spirit in such a long time.
All right. So everybody just basically cleans up the room a little bit, plops down, and just waits. All right. Except for
We've
you.
been called traveled, so I feel like taking a second is well within.
That's fair. Eventually you'll hear some footsteps approaching the door, and you will turn around and see, um, basically two people holding like a bunch of garments and towels and blankets and all this other stuff. You can't see their faces. You can just see them from the waist down because they're carrying so much stuff. Excuse me. Hello? Hello? Anybody?
Keep
Are we
coming.
at the
Keep
right
coming.
place?
We all muted.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Come in.
Hi. We were told that you might need some of this, and to bring you can. They're kind of like you'll see like one of them like look around the pile and lean out and says, um, where would you like this? There's some blankets, some bedding, some new uniforms. You're anyone?
Oh, thank
Thank you
you.
so much. And I'm gonna grab the stuff, and I have my
You
bedroll
grab
out,
one
so I'm
guy, I
gonna
grab the
kind of
other.
Okay.
lay the stuff out on my bedroll because it's clean.
All right.
Mhm.
So you take the stuff from them. It is two young ladies, maybe like in their like late 20s, mid
Hmm.
20s, like in that age. They are human though. They're like, oh, okay, well, very good. Is there anything else you would like? Dinner will be served soon. I guess you can come out and meet the others.
Thank you.
It's like, see, I told you they were just as pretty, and they kind of look over as Vero.
He does have great hair.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You
I
should
mean
see it.
that's fair.
Mhm.
It's like, all right, well, enjoy. Let us know if you need anything else, and they'll kind of turn and leave. A similar situation will happen where they'll bring in a couple of gentlemen. Will bring in some, what are they called? Bunk beds. They'll
Bunk beds?
like, yeah, like
They'll bring in bunk beds?
bunks. Yes, they're gonna bring in bunks. So they bring in 3 sets. So they'll kind of bring them in, and they'll, where do you want these? You can have them arranged wherever you like, but they'll drop them off for you. You can put them wherever you want. They're not as friendly. You can tell that they're not thrilled that they had to do this themselves, but they'll do it and then kind of go about their business.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. The beds are poisonous.
Or
Hold on, let me write that down. Oh, I didn't check my
Lord.
points today. What the hell?
No,
I might need them soon.
I
no.
guess it means you don't have any.
No,
That's right.
I have a note. I have to look.
Mm-mm.
No, I just have 2 halfling luck. That sucks. I haven't been feeling inspired.
Mm-mm.
Mimic beds. Yes, there you go. All right, folks. After a little while, you'll hear and see people descending the stairways and heading through the room to the hall.
Well, I guess it's time to go get some dinner and meet everyone.
Ooh, let's do some bonding. Fine. Gossip. I love some good gossip. It's been a while.
About the food area.
It was this way, right?
Yes.
Yep.
It's there. All right, so you all get into there, and again, there's people working on tables. Let me see if
Is this a door or a window?
where? That's
Where I'm standing.
that's It's more of an arrow slit to outside. It's not a real window.
Mm. I see. Okay.
Okay, so you all are basically brought in. You sit like not brought in. You walk in and you see several people. They're still working on categorizing. They're sitting at the tables. They look up at you as you walk by. You notice that there are the soldiers in here that are kind of going about making sure people are doing stuff correctly. And then to the east, all the way on the other side of where you just walked in, you will see tables and people sitting down, talking to each other, basically socializing as food is being brought out by the same two young women who bought you the food. Behind them, you can hear like a litany of complaints coming from a deeper, more gravelly voice, talking about the lack of spices.
Uh-oh.
Does this sound like the cook from the Roadhouse?
No.
Where could someone turn to see where that's coming from? Because spices sound random in this conversation that's going on.
What?
Sneaky peek at the windows.
Does it sound like a former chef we knew?
You mean the one from the Roadhouse?
Mm-hmm.
No, Vera just asked that question. No.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was.
At least I wasn't the only one thinking it.
Yeah, no, but no, that doesn't sound like him. It sounds more deeper, more gravelly.
And Songbird's trying to figure out where that came from.
From the south. No, well, not south.
In the bottom.
From the bottom
From the
of the
bottom.
map. Yeah,
In the
because
kitchen.
Okay.
from
Do I see the person saying it? Basically, is what I'm asking.
No, not from where you're standing. In fact, all of you walked into the room and froze like deer in headlights.
Because we were listening to what you had to say.
I know.
That's it. We walk into rooms and we start walking everywhere now.
Well, I told you what's in here already. There's tables and stuff. So what is your guys' plan? You're just gonna hug the walls?
Well, I was
I
looking
mean,
out
I
of
don't want to
windows.
be out in the middle of the deal if somebody that we happen to know walks in so that I'm,
Oh, also
an easy target.
I want to ask, did you guys change?
Yes.
Into the
Okay.
new stuff, yeah.
Okay, so you're wearing
Are
the
they-
new stuff. Did you bring all your weapons and everything?
Always.
Some of you don't. I'm talking about like you have your walking stick with you. Like, are you carrying your bow and your swords? Are you carrying your rapier? Are you carrying your shield and warhammer right now?
No, I have my daggers, but I left my warhammer in the room just because it makes me look like I'm ready to pick a fight when that's the last thing I want people to think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
I always had my stick with me.
all right. So you have your stick.
No sword, but a bow and arrows.
All right. So you have your bow and arrow. All right. So as you come in, like some of the not guard drakes, dragon claws will kind of look over at you. They'll like talk to each other and like look at you again. And you see Stannis is one of the persons that they're talking to, and he's like, like almost like I'll take care of it, but he doesn't immediately approach you. Kind of just like watches you as you move around the room. Songbird, you're moving towards the kitchen to see. You see inside there is one cook basically cooking at several workstations, kind of running back and forth. He is a dwarf, very wide, short, dwarf figure, and the girls that bought you the pillows and the bedding, they're inside grabbing trays and bringing trays in and out, serving the people there at the table. There's not a lot of people sitting down eating. You figure maybe 20. Um, but and well, no, in the whole room there's like 20. So a few of those are still working and categorizing the gold and treasures. The rest of them is sitting down eating. Not really paying attention to anything. Sometimes they're talking to each other, but it seems like a very calm social vibe in here. And again, none of the initiates appear to be wearing more than like a dagger or have a knife on them. None of them are sporting weapons.
Reminds
Well, I sort of came in looking for Stannis since he told us he wanted to, figure out where we were going to be and what we were going to be doing. So,
Okay.
And am I? No, I first get into the square before I get yelled at.
I haven't yelled at anybody. I just moved them.
Whatever. Anyway, as I'm walking past, is that a staircase I'm looking at?
Yes,
Or I can see?
there's a staircase in there. Yes,
Huh.
it's a spiral staircase going up.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyway, Ginia, you see standing, so you head right towards him.
yes.
Okay.
And it kind of looked like he was headed towards us anyway.
He wasn't. He did the thing and just continued his conversation. He didn't approach you.
Okay.
They're just watching you. So
Okay.
as you approach him, Songbird, you're still down here.
Oh.
So as you approach him, he kind of smiles and nods at you. He says, Nunya.
Stannis, have you kind of decided where you feel like we would be the most useful?
Well, I was hoping we could have a conversation after dinner. We could see that you still hold on to some of your old belongings, and most of our members free themselves of those everyday items. So we would need to have a conversation and figure out where you would be most beneficial.
All right.
So,
And just to be clear, like my daggers are concealed. Nobody can see them.
well, they're concealed. How do you have them concealed?
Really quick, before she answers that, can you give us a description of the new clothes? Are they the same as the one we were wearing, just don't smell bad?
Yeah, they're like cleaned and
Okay, so same.
less torn.
Okay, same garments, but not as nasty. Okay, got it.
Yeah, basically. So how do you have them concealed, Ginia?
Well, I'm assuming the tunic has long sleeves and I have them kind of strapped to my forearm.
Okay. That's so almost any concealed weapon, it just depends on how observant the person looking at you is or how you're moving around. So like if you have long sleeves and they're flowing and you go like this or raise your hand just right, somebody might see the daggers. But I'm just saying for the sake of, argument, yes, you have them concealed, but somebody might notice them. Like you guys do it all the time. You could see somebody looking and be like, that person has a sword under their cloak. Just because of the way, they sit or something sticks out of the cloak. So it goes in both directions. But you have your dagger strapped to your wrist currently. And he's just standing there. He doesn't seem to be looking at your daggers or anything. He's kind of looking at Roz. Roz walked into the eating hall with a bow, like he's hunting. Like, I can guarantee you the food is already cooked and well dead. The lizard men hunt very well for us.
You have to understand, for Roz, that's more like fashion accessories.
Well, again, only thing we need is the worship of our lady.
Noted.
She will provide.
Well, since he doesn't want to have any conversation about anything until after dinner, I guess I'm gonna go grab some dinner.
Okay. So, you could just pick an empty seat, sit down, and one of the girls will bring food out to all of you, or to each of you. They will set it down. There's no choices. They just set down food and a drink. It is a decent portion. Good, well, well cooked, but you could see immediately that the seasoning issue is part of the problem, and you're not sure exactly what kind of meat you're eating. It seems a bit gamey.
Oh, yay. Raiders.
Hey Drake, what's up? Hello Raiders, welcome in. Party is inside an enemy castle, trying to blend in. Yeah, you blend. I'm sorry, I just thought of like, um, my cousin Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you blend.
You blend.
All right, so thank you, Gorvidal. Appreciate it, bud. You guys will sit and eat your food quietly, listening to the people talk and mumble around you. Some of them seem very talkative, talking about like everyday things. Some of them, like, did you see that bracelet that came across? It was beautiful. She's gonna love it. Basically talking in those tones. And then some of them were like, the next shipment is ready. Hopefully our work is appreciated, or the divine grace, and we are blessed. And then some of them just don't talk at all, just kind of sit lost in the moment, enjoying their food. After dinner, you guys, the hall will kind of clear except for the people still working. Like I said, you can watch as they stage the treasures in the north area. Most people are leaving, and you will see, from the table you guys are at, you will notice a figure walk through the room. He kind of cuts from your area through the room to this door over here. Hold on, where's my ping? So he basically walks through the room like this, in that path. Okay. He is wearing red robes, tattooed head. You recognize him from your travel up.
Like the one that joined and was sitting with the cultists partway through?
Yes, that one.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't like look in your direction. He doesn't look at anybody really. He just walks through the room. After he walks through the room, um, Stannis will kind of walk up to Nunya and the rest of you sitting at the table, still hovering over your foods. He says, "Well, so what brings each of you to the cult? How did you find your way to Our Lady?" I'll look over at you first, Jania.
Probably just the same way that everybody else did.
Um, I, well, everybody has their own story to tell. Tell me yours. It will help us find um tasks more suitable to your skills.
I find that
I'm
protecting those that are less able to protect themselves kind of gives me a purpose.
and says, and you? I'll turn towards Vera.
Hmm. Um, I'm really mostly and most of my travels recently and enjoying is just, learning is a big thing for me.
Ah,
Learning new things.
and you wish to learn more of Our Lady?
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Well, then you have come to the right place. And you? I'll look over at Elios. Almost like as if I don't know. You're
I grew up
oh
I grew up hearing stories about her and how she is the best.
um then he'll look over at Roz.
Yes, well, this one has come to know the lady uh, many, oh, many months ago now. Roz was alone in the woods. He was hunting, which Roz is very good at. I climbed a tree to take a sleep, and I dreamed of this lady, and she showed me things that I could do with my skills. And when I woke in the morning, he taps the bow on his back. This was in my lap. I've had it ever since, and I'm sorry if it offends you, but Roz will not relinquish this bow
They
because
ask you how you are,
he
you just
believes
tell
the
them, say
lady
that you're fine,
herself
and you're
gave it
not
to
really
him.
fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never
So
understand.
he looks up and like this. You notice like he was kind of like looking past you every now and then. So this time he like look. He like it's more prominent. He's not as subtle this time. He kind of looks over and he looks over at somebody and the person just kind of shrugs and goes, I don't like gives him a I don't know. He says, well, our initiates generally do not carry weapons. It's mostly for their own good. The bullywugs and the lizard folk tend to think it's acts of aggression, especially the lizard folk. They're very savage in their nature. You you don't have to give it away, but you should leave it in your own. He'll turn to Songbird and ask the same question.
Songbird looks at him and is like, I have been trained by my unfortunately now past mentor in playing music. And one day, while I was playing, thoughts of Our Lady popped into my head. And so I just continued on, and it just kind of led me here. I I've fought through many things, as you know. I ride with a group, so you know we seem to do well together and everything. We fight well together. Everyone has their own art and everything like that, but we're all here for the lady in general. Mm. Sorry, Etienne.
So, so you basically will finish your answer, and he'll again look past all of you, and you'll see like one of the other dragon claws kind of just like nod and give him a thumbs up. He says, "Very well. So, you are all new initiates. Perhaps when you reach the rank of Dragonclaw, you can go about better protecting our members." And look at you, Virginia. And then you can openly walk around with your weapons. For now, I would suggest. I understand we are in a place, but the Bullywogs are. They are our protectors. The Lizardmen are our dogs. So you do not need weapons around them. She will protect us.
I just have a quick question, the learning thing. Outside of the weapons, is there any other way to determine who is Dragon Claw's stage, as you put it? Stage? I don't know. Class? I don't know how you will
I'm gonna let you take that
reference.
question back. The Dragonclaws wear an actual uniform.
Oh, okay. So
They,
there is a visual
yeah,
difference.
there's a
Okay.
visual. So the initiates look, they wearing very simple like um the ponchos. They're wearing very simple ponchos
Mhm.
tied off at the waist, and then like almost like skirt leggings.
Gotcha.
And then the Dragonclaws, no, the Dragonclaws, they look like soldiers. They are wearing
Okay,
uniforms.
that
Okay, but you guys
okay.
don't have that. So you're dressed as initiates. Um I we will find tasks for you. It says uh now Songbird, you gave him your name Songbird,
I never gave them a name.
right? That yeah, I was the one that used your name. So
Mm-hmm.
they will look at you and say you might be able to help us identify some of the instruments and their value. So you will work the tables, and he'll point over towards the corner of the room where there's tables arrayed with various items on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can clean them, restring them, make them presentable for Our Lady. And I'll look
Okay.
over the room and says, perhaps you would like to work in. He kind of looks you up and down again. He says, "Would you? You look like you would like to work in the chapel. Would that be something that interests you, Nunya?"
Sure.
Um, you, we might have a special place for you, Elios. No, he won't say Elios. He will say Little One. Because, again, they only have Nunya's name.
Elias just nods silently.
They don't even seem to, like, they, other than Nunya, they didn't really ask any of your names. He says, I think she would find you a very fitting servant. You could attend to um, Lady Rasmir. You, learned. I think you also should work in the library. And
Sounds
so,
great.
you two will be share. You technically you will be working with the same individuals, but your focus will be more on the church. Yours will be more on the library. There, you can find some knowledge. Telling Vero.
Perfect.
And then, as for you, my tall, armored friend, um, perhaps we can start your training towards Dragonclaw.
This is acceptable. Yes.
All right. So you will report to the Dragonclaw barracks. Um,
Is that with or without this one's weapon?
no, they'll prefer that you had your swords, but you had them earlier.
As Raz is not as proficient in swords as he is in the bow.
That's why
But
we'll train you. That's why
whatever the
we'll.
lady wishes.
Yeah, when you say that, he'll like grab your arm. He says, "That's why we'll train you." But you seem eager for the fight, so we'll put you where you can be most useful. Plus, I think the uniform will suit you.
This one will try to wear it with honor.
Well, that's all. Um, I would say that you can report to your task tomorrow. For the time being, um, continue to get your rooms together. You may be recorded once you like report to your assignments. Is there anything you would like to ask?
Where's the library?
Someone will show you. It's upstairs.
Did you
Okay.
assign Astrid with Vero?
Oh, I forgot about the child. God
Oh,
damn it.
Thanks for that. It's
Um,
on you now if we get separated. I just want to point that out.
we'll send the child to work with the lizard men in the stables.
You're getting daggers from me.
Biff is not
Ginya's
only
gonna put her
happy.
hand. Ginya's gonna put a hand on Stannis's arm and say, "If you don't mind, those two are kind of a bonded pair. If we could keep them together, it would be greatly appreciated."
I would like you to roll a persuasion check.
Can I help her?
How?
Well, with her, she does the role, but get the extra help. But it's like it also helps make the learning faster. The learning, the information,
No.
the work.
So usually when you're using a help action, you have to be able to help. You can't help her persuade somebody unless you're going to talk over her.
No, I'm not going to talk over her.
Well, then you're not going to help. All right, so Jenny, I need you to roll a persuasion check. He is going to say something along the lines. He's like, Nanya, part of joining is releasing your earthly attachments, but I understand that they may be bonded. Perhaps he can help you in the library for the time being until we find a more suitable task for him.
Help me in the
I
church
just
or help
nod.
Vero in the library.
He looks over at Vero. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
looked at Vero on the screen and I forget that doesn't
We
mean
can't see
shit.
you.
I mean,
Not
even
only
if your
that, it
camera
doesn't
was
mean
on, we
shit
couldn't
if I
even.
like.
Yeah.
You can't tell who I'm looking at. So yes, he will talk to Vero and say, perhaps he can help you in the library for the time being. Just keep him, keep him close. And well
Oh, just
behaved.
nod.
The librarians are a very finicky lot. Working with the wizard as they do tends to upset them.
He's a wizard,
Cool.
Vero.
All right, and then I'm just gonna pat his arm and say, "Thank you so much for understanding."
It was my pleasure. Now, I suggest you get some rest. We have a big day tomorrow. I mean, it's early, so walk around. You just, I would avoid the Bollywog's quarters, and he'll motion, like not motion, but he'll point in the direction. He's basically pointing to the barracks you saw where they were all out there sitting.
Okay.
And he's like, they tend to get territorial about their second floor, so I would avoid them if you can. Most of the creatures here give leeway to act to us. We are superior, but they can get a little bit violent if we don't respect their territories. Um, the area over the forge, strangely, Greyborn is teaching the lizard men how to forge, which we think is a waste of resources and time. But they have claimed that area for themselves, so we give them their space. We contain the rest of the north. I would avoid the chamber, and he will point to the door, like right next to where you guys are talking. I said, until you have escorts and the guard drakes learn of you and recognize you, I would stay clear of those areas. They can be quite nasty. But they are intelligent, and they will eventually learn who you are and allow you passage. Until that time, though, make sure you have someone to escort you through the rooms. Any questions?
Nope.
Nothing I can think of. Thank you.
Well, then I have duties to attend to. Good night. He'll like turn and walk out towards the room. As he walks, two of the other dragon claws will like fall in with him. So now there was more in here when you first arrived. So there's 3 left currently. And then there's still people like category, and you hear one of them say, "Quickly, we have to have tonight's shipment ready." And they're basically packing up one of the last crates, cleaning up. They're like really making these items that were, probably tarnished and left out. They're polishing them up and making them like sparkly brand new before they wrap them up and put them in the crates. And you can see there's several crates arrayed in the corner just next to where Roz is in this corner. That's where they're staging them. So you have been left to your own for the evening. In the morning, someone will come and find you, find each of you, and take you to your task. You've been recruited into the cult. Good job.
Okay, but I feel like we would have a conversation if we heard them saying that those crates were leaving that night? I feel like we would have had a conversation about trying to figure out where those crates are going.
Well, no, you guys have been left to your own devices. You can do whatever you want right now. That's
Okay, 'cause
just
it sounded
something.
like you were skipping to the next morning.
No.
Yeah, I agree with her on that one. It
Okay.
did sound like you were about to skip it.
No. That's just you were left off with you have the evening to yourselves, and in the morning somebody's gonna get to you. That's kind of what I meant. Not that we're skipping. No, you have the evening to do what you want to do. Right now you're standing in the hall, awkwardly watching these people, and you all kind of heard we must get these crates ready for this evening, and you all looked at each other. That's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay.
Some of us looked at each other. Some of us are eating our food.
No, you ate already.
Or drinking tea.
Oh yeah, drinking our beverages.
Even though it's probably not tea, and Vero's pretty salty about it.
Right?
Okay. So I'm going to sort of motion to everybody that we should probably go back to our room and have a conversation, since there's sort of the built-in alarm system of the planks over the water. So we'll be able to hear if someone is coming. So I'm
Yep.
going to kind of motion that, hey, let's go have a talk in our room.
As we're heading to the room, Songbird's going to start singing Planks Over Muddy Water.
Okay. Did you get lost? Oh. That's a wall.
Nope.
That's
My
a wall.
computer's trying to start it again.
Oh.
Give me a second. All right, there we go.
Okay. All right. So you all make it into the room. Some of you better than others.
Yep. I'm going to kind of motion to Roz to come over this direction so we can whisper.
All right. Team huddle. Where did you have them put the beds? Was it?
I would think
Weren't we
along.
supposed to put the beds?
Well, yeah. Okay, where did you put the beds?
I mean, are these windows here that were like where Roz is standing?
Same thing. They're arrow slits, but so arrow slits from the outside are only a few inches wide. From the inside, you can stand in them. So,
Okay.
yeah, they just didn't narrow them up enough.
All right. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I would want to have the beds kind of along the walls by the arrow slits so we could see if someone was trying to sneak in, even though we would hear them. If they were being super hyper sneaky, we would see them while we were trying to, sleep.
That's fair. So maybe like one here, one here, one here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So they're away from the doors. That's all. All right. So you guys are having your conversation.
Yes. In hushed tones,
I got you.
I would, because I'm not sure if everyone heard that they're planning on sending those crates out tonight, and I feel like we need to at least figure out a way to see how that works and see if we can figure out where they're going or how they're transporting them at the very least.
Well, there's always the one pug. Perhaps he knows. Instead of lurking about and possibly getting caught, perhaps we just ask the questions.
That's true.
How would we get a hold of Pug?
I'm just going to point out you already asked Pug this question. Remember, he didn't know.
Yeah, but that was earlier. I'm just wondering if now that it's about to happen, maybe he does know something.
Oh, okay.
But that's fine.
Kind of one of those he didn't think about the question until it was asked, and maybe he went and found out too.
The growing theme with these cultists is they're cultists. Like it seems like they just do without being told. I'm not without being told, without question. Like you know what I mean? Like their devotion. These are like Zionists. They're just like it's probably not the right word to use. But they are unquestionably devout, at least from what you can tell.
So it wouldn't have even crossed his mind to go ask the question about or try to find out because it doesn't matter to him where they're going. They're just going where they need to go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like when you did ask him the question, his best answer was like, I think they use magics. Like that was the best he could tell you. So you could ask him again. I'm just saying he did answer this question before. And it's not like you sent him to find out. He was like, oh, okay, thanks. So
Well, all I was just saying is that we have been put under the covers now, and we do not want to be exposed. Okay, good talk, everybody. Yes, Ross is going to sleep now, since everybody has the hair lip and cannot talk to no one's. Goodbye.
So I think
Oh.
it would be wise. I was trying to remember if there was a door
Where did
here that
Genia
had to
go?
be
She left. Where
opened.
did Genia? Oh,
now
Yeah,
she
I was going to
she
see if there was a
disappeared. Oh, there
door
you
that
are.
needed to be opened because I couldn't see it.
You are fast.
I am.
no, she was
I
checking the
run
map.
faster than the speed of light.
There is a doorway out there, and they keep closing that door. They don't leave it open.
Okay, but there's no door here or here. So
Correct.
really, we could have Songbird cast invisibility on somebody or somebody's, and then one of us could kind of go through this doorway on the pretense that they're just going for a walk because they can't sleep. So that would explain why that door opened. and they could watch.
Or why there might be creaky noises because invisibility is not going to keep me silent.
Mm-hmm. So having somebody who is out there walking around that it looks normal that they're doing it would cover for any creaking noises or whatever, the splashing on um, the plank to get from our room to that hallway. It would cover for those noises. Thoughts?
Well, that is an option. Like I said, we just have to have someone to cover that sound. But pretty much, I've been thinking about the invisibility and how to try to use it without us getting caught. It's just getting out the door is like the easiest or lightest on their feet would be Roz and Vero.
Are we wanting to day one immediately already start sneaking and snooping around, or
It may be the only chance we have because it sounded like it was possible that they would be separating us once we get to our new assignments as far as where we're sleeping. So this may be our only chance as a group to have this conversation and find this information out.
Like Roz is supposed to go to the barracks, so he's going to be shipped out of this room in the morning. That's a definite.
I mean, but it looks like everyone meets in the food hall anyways, where we could possibly talk about
Right.
anything we find. But I mean,
But then there's all the people around who could potentially hear.
true. But I mean, how far is whoever's invisible going to be willing? Like, how far do they follow? Do they follow that it leaves the castle, or do they keep going
Well,
and
they could at
assume
the
that
very
they already said that there's magic users here? So
right, but it could just be a rumor that it's leaving the castle via the magics. So
Or it
knowing
could be
for
a
sure
portal.
whether there's actually
That.
magic involved in moving the
Mhm.
crates from here to wherever they're going would be useful information.
So while you guys are having a quiet conversation there, I mean, time has passed a little bit. Um, you hear like some footsteps approaching, and then excuse me, and it's like a knock on rock because you know, actually no, there's wood there. So you hear a knock
Mhm.
on your door jam or your doorway. Excuse me.
Yes.
One of the dragon claws will come in. I'm here to inform you that you should stay in your rooms. We're going to be releasing the guard drake soon. So
Oh.
they are
Okay.
they have not been acquainted with you yet, and until that happens, they will attack you on sight. So for this evening, it would be best that you remain in your rooms.
We do appreciate the information
You're welcome.
and the big warning.
And he'll like basically turn and soldier his way out of the room.
Well, I guess that kind of answers that question because those guard drakes will snip us right out.
The best laid plans.
I guess we'll have to figure out info the old-fashioned way and try to figure it out in our jobs, at least for now.
Well, I suppose since there's not much else to be done, we should probably go to bed and get some sleep.
All right. So you guys settle in, kind of getting like resting and stuff, and um, the sounds of the swamp, mosquitoes and all that stuff, the smell, it's everywhere and it's all night long. But you do hear like the scratching noise of the clawed feet of the guard drakes as they patrol like the hall and and the chamber not too far away because it's quiet. So now you can hear them walking about.
So they can't come back where we're at?
Can they? Yes, they are patrolling.
Well, since we have no door.
They won't come into the room. You don't see them. You hear them. But yes, if your room was part of their patrol area, they would walk by it. But since it's not, they don't. So, but you can hear them walking in the corridor. So you don't hear
That
them
was my
coming.
thing.
You don't hear them coming over the planks. You hear them walking in the hall, the grand hall. Okay. You also like can tell that the door has been opened between where you're at and the grand hall because it gives the Drakes like free reign because they don't know how to open doors. While you're laying there in the night, some of you start drifting off. Some of you are meditating. Some of you are asleep. Like Astrid is in coma. You hear movement, and you hear like some footsteps coming down the stairs. And if any of you like sit up or peek and look at your doorway, you see a soldier holding a torch is standing in your doorway with his back to you. So he's basically taking up position right here in that corner. Okay. And he doesn't have the torch like in your room. You just can hear the torch fire going, and you could see the light and shadows being cast, and you figure it's like the torch is away from the doorway, but it's casting the glow around, but it's lighting up the room outside at the bottom of the stairs. And you hear other individuals like moving about, walking. It's like, quickly, let's get this done. She's already like being impatient. And you hear like them basically going across the wooden planks into the room. You hear the splashing of the water. They're in there for a few minutes, and then you hear them coming back in your direction and cutting across the room, like the corridor outside. Like you see the shadows moving outside, and then like the sound starts to fade.
Interesting.
That was not. Why is it doing that? Stop it. Okay. I meant to do that. Okay.
Noted.
Does anybody try to look outside or anything, or just lay there in quietness?
Um,
I'm
yeah,
not
I
quite sure
can.
who had what bunk. Oh, I don't know if I'm by a window or not.
Roz would have been down there. If he heard it, he'd look out.
Okay. Anybody else? Like you could pair up.
Yeah, if I was near one of the other windows, I'll look out.
The noise is not coming from outside. The noise is coming from the doorway that inside.
Oh, then I'll try to peer out the door
All right.
since I would consider myself a lighter sleeper.
So we already established where the bunks are. Roz is over there,
Top bunk.
top bunk. So who's sleeping underneath Roz?
I would be.
So Ginny is here. Hey goblets, welcome in. So middle and upper bunk. Who's where? Welcome in, Raiders. How you doing?
Oh,
Pretty much,
well, I
Vero.
typically don't lay in a bed. I sit on like a roll.
Okay, so
Typically,
where are you sitting on a roll?
um, probably if the beds are along the edge,
Thank
then
you.
yeah, probably about where I am would be fine.
About where you're fine. All right, so if you're there, Astrid's going to take up that bunk.
Sebastian hears it.
So that means Songbird and Elios, you two are in this one. Okay.
That works.
All right. So Roz, Ginia,
Yes.
Elios, Songbird. I know Roz said he would be looking. Ginia, I'm assuming you're checking as well. Like you're trying to see what's going
Yep.
on. Okay.
Yes.
Elios.
Elios is not looking. He's very heavily sleeping on the
I was
ground
gonna
next to him.
say I think Elios is asleep.
Elios is curled up and asleep like a cat.
Okay. Songbird.
Hey, watch it.
An actual cat.
Songbird. Are you asleep or trying or like watching? You don't. Two people are already looking, so it's fine. But
Well, I'm not really going to be doing much because you said it would. It. Hold on one second. Ping. You said that they were here, right? Standing.
yeah, they're in that corridor. Yes.
With a torch.
One of them is standing there with a torch. Yes.
So that's probably it's gonna, firelight in a dark room. I'm gonna notice it, but there's not really much that I can really see. It's just the person that's just standing there.
Okay.
So as long as that person doesn't come in, there's not much anything else can be done.
All right. All right. So, Ginia, Roz, I need you to roll perception checks. While they do that, welcome in, Raiders. Hey, Goblet, how are you doing? They're just basically inside an enemy keep, trying to keep their cover, so they're a little tense right now. All right. This is what both of you see. You pretty much roll like around the same score. So, you can see movement out in the corridor. Okay, you can see shadows walking back and forth. Okay, but because of the light, because of the shadows, and because you're trying to be discreet, you can't. You're not exactly sure whether they're walking up the stairs or like. Well, no, you're pretty sure they are walking up the stairs. I mean, but the footsteps, um, they're fading away, and you just don't know, like they're not saying anything. They're not being like loud or anything. They're just going about their business. Every now and then, you hear like a grunt as they lift a crate, but you could just hear them walking around outside. Can't make out much else. You lay there quietly for a little while, and eventually the noises will cease. You'll hear like the torch wave as one of them will look into the room quickly. He appears to be content with the fact that you're all still asleep, and then he will disappear up the stairs. You'll see the light slowly fade away. You're all once again alone in the dark with the crickets.
No, I'm all alone. There's no one.
Well, I mean, part of me wants to follow them up the stairs, but my stealth is not ideal.
No. Not to mention the big, little, hungry, oh, we don't know you, so we'll eat you creatures running around.
Yeah, the drakes can be dangerous.
Mhm.
So I think in order to preserve our cover, it would be wise to just stay where we are and maybe wait to see how long there it is before they come back down the stairs.
How long it is before they come back down the stairs. Okay. So you wait for a while. It'll be morning before anybody shows back up. Like they did what they needed to do, and then those people never showed back up.
Okay, I thought they all went up the stairs. That was my understanding.
That was what you, yeah.
Okay, so okay.
It's probably like another set of living quarters, sleeping quarters,
I mean, there's
but
two
for the
more.
very, very special people.
There's two more floors of this place. Also, they started. You heard them coming down the stairs. So they came down the stairs. They did what they were doing, and then you heard them go up the stairs. So they went back to where they started. So, like I said, for the rest of the night, it'll be dead quiet, other than the noises from the swamp.
Kidok?
All right. Next morning, you will hear a familiar voice as Stannis. I forgot his name for a second. Stannis and several other individuals will knock at your door and be like, "Morning. Are you ready for your assignments?"
Yes.
Sure, let's go.
Excellent. So they will introduce you and basically head you off in different directions within the keep. I think that's where we're going to stop for this evening. Because the rest is going to be like, it's going to be a lot of information on each of you individually. So we're going to stop here for tonight, and we'll pick it up next week at this point where you're going to learn what you're going to be doing within the castle. Cool? I mean, we're close to the end anyway.
Cool.
All right. Also, goblets and goblets people, thank you for coming in. Welcome. You caught us towards the end, so we're going to let everybody introduce them, not introduce themselves, basically plug their channels and tell you who they are, because we have several wonderful streamers here and two that just refuse to do it. So we'll start with Roz. You go first.
Okay, I am Loco 1956, or just Loco. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Time, because that's where I live. I stream War Thunder, and it's a I don't know, war type game, tanks, planes, and ships. I don't play ships, but you can do that.
Ships are fun. Whoop, I need to move that. Excuse me.
I don't think Yeah, I didn't even know you could do ships.
Yep.
Nobody likes ships. Only Havoc likes ships.
Mm-hmm.
Ships are fun. Stop it.
He's that guy.
I'll play all of them. All
It's
right.
his very own toy boat.
It is. It's a battleship, and you shoot others' battleships. It's amazing. Anyway, go ahead,
It's not my
Songbird.
battleship.
I have. Go ahead, Songbird. You're next.
Hi, I'm Lady Magdalena, mainly known as Lady M throughout Twitch. I am a variety streamer here. Anything, almost pretty much anything. I'll play group games, solo games, board games straight up off my desk. So just whatever I might be in a whim for. I would say I have a normal schedule, but the only thing that's actually normal for my schedule are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings, where I'm doing D&D here, obviously Tuesday nights, as well as Thursday nights. And then Saturdays, I'm over with Insomnia Night RPG, doing Call of Cthulhu. Hopefully my schedule changes a little bit soon with the new job coming up. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Excellent. And Ginia.
Hey, I'm Foxy Project here on Twitch and over on YouTube. I simulcast. I play survival crafting games, mostly 7 Days to Die. Here recently, it's been Aska, which is a Viking survival crafting game. It's a lot of fun. An update broke it yesterday, but they actually got it fixed, so yay! And I start
Is that what
streaming at
happened?
7 p.m. Eastern time. That sounds so weird coming out of my mouth because it's always been Central, but whatever. 8 p.m. Eastern. So give everybody here a follow because we are all fabulous.
They are.
Descriptions below in the title.
I think they are. They should be. I think I got them. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, it looks like you did. Oh, you.
Sometimes
So
I
proud.
forget. Thank you. All right. So
You
we're
get a
gonna.
gold star for today. Hold on
Aw,
just a
he's a
sec. I'm gonna
good
read over
boy.
into you.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for the raid to come over. We're gonna go into Ticking Time Bob Gaming. They're playing Pendragon.
Pendragon.
Yeah. So we're gonna go over there. Hey Raiders, welcome in. Yes. So I'm not gonna dilly dally too long because as soon as I open up the browser to like put up a raid, it's already back up to like 96. So before it crashes on me, we're gonna go ahead and raid. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for coming and watching us. Thank you for the follows. We appreciate all of it, and we will hopefully see you guys again soon. Like Thursday.
Really soon.
Thursday's the next game. In fact, we have D&D
Dragonlance.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and maybe some stuff in between. So we'll see how it goes. All right, we'll see all of you soon. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Right.